Welcome everyone. Six Arm Gamer here, and today we're going to be playing some Birthing Pod in Historic. No, we're really going to be playing some new alchemy cards, but feels so good. It feels like a Birthing Pod, but a little dumbed down and much more fair, which I think is a good sign. That means Wizards is finally figuring out. So what do we have to replace Birthing Pod? We have Spawning Pod. So Spawning Pod is a artifact for two colorless, one green. You can pay one and sacrifice a creature, seek creature card with mana value equal to 1 plus the sacrificed creature's mana value, and put it onto the battlefield. That creature is an effraction in addition to its other types, activate only as a sorcery. So, basically, Wizards could have said something along the line, because I know alchemy cards can be very controversial. This card I feel like is completely fair to play because you could have made it into a regular card. It could literally just say sacrifice target creature, reveal the top card of your library until you reveal a creature with converted mana cost 1 plus the mana cost of the creature you sacrificed. Put it into the battlefield. That creature is an effraction to its additional types. You only activate this as a sorcery. So this is a completely fair Birthing Pod, really. It's great. I love it. Okay, I've been having a ton of fun. So how are we playing this? What are we trying to do? So we are Golgari. So to start us off with, we have just the classic package of mana dorks, and that is Elvish Mystic and Land of War Elves. What do we have for our 2-drops? And what is our game plan with our early plays? Our early plays are all creatures that die and either bring things back from the graveyard or create mana. So we have a Carrion Thrall. Kind of weird. Most people don't play this card, but I think it works really well in this deck because it's a 2-drop. You sacrifice it, you jump into a 3-drop, and then you have a token to ramp yourself up to this, because we are going to be playing some big creatures with this deck so that we can get the full value of the Spawning Pod. So, yep, there's Carrion Thrall. So we have Diabolic Intent, which is basically like another whole play set of Spawning Pod. Plus, we're kind of a sacrifice synergy deck because Spawning Pod sacrifices as it is. So that works out pretty nicely. So we have our 3-drops. Kami of the Morning. When Kami of the Morning enters the battlefield, target creature you control or creature card in your graveyard perpetually gains win. A creature you control with greater mana value than this card dies. Return it to from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. So that helps us start this kind of like value loop with Spawning Pod. So that is really good. Love that card. Okay, so then what is our 4-drop? What are we going to Spawning Pod from a 3-drop into a 4-drop? We got Body Launderer. Body Launderer, I love this card. I've been wanting to play it for so long, and this just happened to be the perfect deck for it. So, Body Launderer is a 2 black 3/3 Death Toucher that says whenever another non-token creature you control dies, Body Launderer connives. Pretty good already because we want to be sacrificing stuff. Then it says whenever it dies, return another target non-rogue creature card with equal or lesser power from your graveyard to the battlefield. So that is just another value engine loop. With like Kamiya, we can bring Kamiya back with Body Launderer, and then Kamiya brings something else back with that. So it's just that sweet good value loop. And then, what is our 5-drops? Well, we have 3 Cavalier of Knights. Those are just some removal as well as a good 5-drop to drop into. Plus, we can cast it in this deck. I didn't want to make this deck too reliant on Spawning Pods, so I kept all the creatures in the colors. So, what do we have to sacrifice from Cavalier of Night, which also brings stuff back from the graveyard, so it has a little better value engine as well. We are going to sacrifice it to Spawning Pod and jump into a Wormcoil Engine. Now this is great. Wormcoil Engine is just a super powerful card. Tons of fun to play. And it has this dice trigger. And what better to play than a dice trigger with a Spawning Pod? So, we will actually in some situations sacrifice our Wormcoil to get a Palaka Worm. And then even from there, sometimes when the game is just grinding out and we are not winning, sacrifice the Palaka Worm, go straight into a Villas, Broker of Blood, draw a ton of cards, kill the opponent's board, and win the game. Well, that's that, and without taking any longer, I will jump right into some matches, and I'll see you there. Well, we will play first. This is mediocre, but I like that we have the Elvish Mystic and the Diabolic Intent to find the spawning pod. And we have three lands, pretty good, helps us stay on curve. Wormcoil's good. We could have one of them at the very least be something else, but we'll keep it. Well, oops, that was a mistake, but it's all good. Play the Elvish Mystic. Do you kill it, opponent? Okay, Black Leaf. Well, draw even more big stuff. Swing in. Play the Diabolic Intent. Go get a Kami, I think. Yeah, go get a Kami. They play a Godless Shrine. Ooh, we draw a Kami as well. Okay, we'll play the Kami. Trigger, put the trigger on the Elvish Mystic. And pass. Come on, birthing pod. Just a regular old birthing pod in historic. Nothing to see here. No big problem. Actually, they made it rather fair. Okay, well, they Bone Crusher Giant. That's fine, because we get our Elvish Mystic back, which we wanted. And play a Kamiya. Tick up on the Kamiya in the graveyard. We'll swing in. We would like to draw a land here. Any color source will be perfect. There's a Graveyard Trespasser. There's the land. And play a Cavalier of Night. Taking down on the Kamiya. Destroy this Graveyard Trespasser, and we'll discard the Palaka Worm. Now another land in a row, so we can play this Wormcoil Engine. Wrath of God, okay. Well, that means we get back a Kamiya. Which ticks up on the Cavalier of Night. And opponent plays a red source. We draw the land, which is not as good because we don't have the Elvish Mystic. But we do like hitting the land drops. One more land, so we can play Wormcoil Engine. There's a Bone Crusher Giant. And a Kalian. That's sort of like mana. Alright, pass the turn. No whammies, and we get a Wormcoil Engine. And I don't think opponent can beat a Wormcoil Engine. Especially since everything, if it dies, we get 2 things back from the graveyard. It's pretty good. Volatile Arsonist. Okay, they do get to kill it, but we're gonna block. So since we blocked, we get back the Elvish Mystic. Then it untaps. We play a Wormcoil Engine. Pass the turn. Next turn, Spawning Pod into a Palaka Worm. Tenacious Underdog from opponent. And they sack the Tenacious Underdog to an Obnixilis.
I'm gonna remake pleasure doing
So they
business.
take up on one of the Obnixiluses, and, well, we decline. Lose 3 life, they gain 3 life. Okay, they kill... We are down to 3, they kill the elf. We'll play the pod. Wait, cancel. Let's get some life gain in there. I'll swing at one of the Obnixiluses. They jump. We will then sack it to the spawning pod. Get a bunch of triggers. Sack the Elvish Mystic. Get rid of this annoying volatile Arctis. Get a Palaka Worm. Gain some more life. Back up to 15. And what can you do from here, opponent? Opponent plays a land. And loses. Okay. Well, we will not. We will decline that. And decline that as well. We are going to be getting a ton more life, so I don't really particularly worry about that too much. Cleansing Nova. Okay. We'll get back a Kamiya. Put it on Worm Coil Engine. There's a Body Launderer. So, play the Worm Coil Engine. Crack it for some goodies. Well, I know we don't have a Palaka Worm, but should be fine. And the opponent just concedes. So against opponent, what is good? So Mar do just good stuff, I guess. Yeah, it looks like Mar do good stuff. Seem to have a lot of board wipes, so we'll go up the Thought Seizes. Go blank could be good in here. Assassin's Trophy always seems kind of good in any matchup, but you don't want to over sideboard it. I mean, like, did they really have anything we cared to kill that much? Not particularly, except for the Volatile Arsonist. I mean, it does get rid of Obnixilis, but we don't... Or, I don't think Obnixilis is that scary. So just go up to Thoughtseizes and trim a little bit. Run it like that. Okay, this is a pretty good hand. Got our sideboard tech. Got some good cards. Kind of wish we could have a little bit lower mana costs on here, but don't think this is bad enough to get rid of. Well, play the Land War Elf. Alright, they... Apostle of Purifying Light. I think we're fine with that. Play the Kamiya. And put it on the Llanowar Elf. We want it to live as long as possible. Next turn, tick up on a Kamiya. They swing in for 2. They play a Graveyard Trespasser. Well, swing in with a Kamiya. Play another Kamiya. Tick on up on itself. Pass to opponent. A Murderous Rider our Kamiya. So that they can swing in for some damage. Exile our stuff. There's the land. Would have preferred a black source there. Would have been really nice. Okay, swing in with the Kamiya. Diabolic Intent to Kamiya. Go get a pod. And pass to the opponent. They swing in with a Graveyard Trespasser. Exiling our stuff. Really annoying. No blocks. Here down to 6. There's a Sheoldred. Okay. And we don't blow the Black Source. Well, we might as well play this. Play that. And we'll sack this just for the heck of it. And then we will concede. There's Karen Throw. And we die. Well, there's Sheoldred in their deck. So that means we need some more removal. Maybe go down to Diabolic Intent. A Placa Worm. Nah, I want to keep all the Diabolic Intents. Just down 1 mana dork. Run it like that. We will play first. Okay, this is pretty good. I like this hand. Turn 1 Llanowar, or Elvish Mystic, my bad. Pass to you, opponent. They play a fetch. And what color do you go get? You get a swamp, a snow-covered swamp, of all things. Play a Kamiya. Put it on the Elvish Mystic. Ooh, we drew the Villas. That's disappointing. Get rid of the Graveyard Trespasser. Diabolic Intent, the Kamiya. For the pod. Pass the turn. No attacks. We will totally block this Apostle. Well, maybe not. They thought seized us. Okay, well then they get rid of the pod. Okay, they have to get rid of the pod. Okay, no attacks. They don't attack. That's a good draw. They go for Throat the Body Launderer. Oh, no attacks. Alright, they exile stuff from graveyard. But we can just sit here until we get to this Villas, and you know, that's a Wormcoil Engine. That's pretty good. Pass to you, opponent. Do they kill it with the Murderous Rider? It looks like they're thinking about it. They do. We get our tokens. And then they exile it from our graveyard. Okay, that's fine. They play a Murderous Rider. A Blooming Marsh, eh? One more land closer to this Villas. They get rid of the spawning pod. Good old birthing pod and historic. There's a land. You know what that means? It's Villas time. And that's an 8/8. What can you do about it, opponent? Do you have more removal? Okay, they block. Shuffle them back into the library. They gain a little bit of life. They just exile some more stuff from the graveyard. And some more stuff from the graveyard. I don't think they can kill this Villas, but they might have a go for the throat. That would do it. Leyline of the Void. Okay. That's not half bad against us. Noxious Grasp. Okay. Diabolic Intent. I don't know if I want to sacrifice anything. I think I swing in with the team. If they want to deal damage to me, I just draw cards. So that's pretty good. Go up to 3. Besides, we have no clock. They have no clock right now as long as we're gaining 3 life a turn. And we got there. Yes, yes, yes. Feels good. Against Metal Thunder. Alright, that's an awesome name. This looks good. This hand looks great, actually. Just need a spawning pod or a tutor to find one. That would be great. This deck can still do some crazy awesome shenanigans without the pod. Okay, they play a Hollowed Fountain. Might be control, but we have no way to know for sure. Put it on the Elvish Mystic and pass to you, opponent. They play a Grimclaw Pathway. Okay, some kind of Enter the Battlefield effect deck, maybe? Well, play the Body Launderer. Swing in for 3. They do block, okay. Well, we'll loot away a Llanowar Elf. They play a Bright Clone Pathway into a Cabal Consoles of Allocation. I think this is Death and Taxes. I think swinging that's a waste. Swinging with the Body Launderer. They take it. Pretty good. Down to 16. Clement Novice Acolyte. Alright. Alright. They play a land. Angel of Unity. Can't say I expected that. Is this party deck? No, it doesn't seem like it. We'll play the land and play the Palaka Worm. Gain 7 life. Swing in with the Death Toucher. They chump block it. And there's a Righteous Valkyrie. I guess opponent's on some kind of brew that maybe budget or just what cards they had in hand. Play this on green. Play an Elvish Mystic. I think we swing in with the whole team. Start looting. Maybe I should have held that land in hand, actually. Just a thrall. Okay, that's not that big a deal. Alright, another Righteous Valkyrie. I gain some life. That is going to get really annoying really fast. They swing in. We're down to 14. Another Thrall will swing in. Okay, we were totally fine with that chump. They go down to 11. Revival, okay. I gain a bunch of life. Oh, we could use something pretty clutch right about now. Spawning pod. Come on, spawning pod. Get that Villas out of our deck. Spawning pod. Spawning pod. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Magic gods. Shine upon thee. Oh, they're gaining so much life. It's slowly getting rid of ours. Oh, well, we can just hardcast it. I'm fine with that. Okay, they chump. We just die here if they notice? Do they notice that we're just dead on board? Don't notice it. You see nothing. There's revival. Silver Quill Silencer. They took up some life. Intemperate Adversary. Okay, well, we will block the Righteous Valkyrie. They didn't notice that we were dead on board. That's great. We get to draw a bunch of cards. They're all lands. Gotta be kidding me. What do we have in the graveyard? Nothing major. Well, play the Cavalier. Sack a Carrier Thrall. Kill the Righteous Valkyrie. No, we don't connive into anything good. Swing in with the team, but we're still not quite gonna get there, I don't think. Okay. They kill our Llanowar Elf. They go down to 20. Get a Kamiya. Get the Cavalier Knight trigger up. Alright. Trigger on the Cavalier. Get our Thrall back. I guess we go get the spawning pod. But we can't do anything with it. They swing in with the team and we lose. Wah wah. Alright. Opponent is here going us into oblivion, apparently. So, some kind of Death and Taxes list. Fatal Push seems pretty good. Assassin's Trophy seems good. Thoughtseize I'm not so high on in this matchup. So, just those. Go down a Thrall. Down a Kamiya and a Body Launderer. And maybe one Palaka Worm. Run it like that. Okay, we'll play first. This looks pretty good. I like it. We'll keep this. Got the Elvish Mystic and the Thrall. Got a Body Launderer is pretty good too. Well, play the Elvish Mystic. Fatal Push is probably going to be clutch in this matchup. They just play a land per turn. Well, we're gonna... Oh, wait. Control Z. We're gonna play the Carrier Thrall. Swing in for 1 damage and pass you, opponent. We'd love to see a land come up right here. Or Diabolic Intent would be pretty good too. Angel of Unity from the opponent. We do draw the land. We'll play the Body Launderer. And no attacks. There's a Righteous Valkyrie from opponent. They get to make something perpetually bigger. Okay, another Body Launderer. Well, I think we swing in with the team. Okay, they lose the Angel of Unity, keeping the Righteous Valkyrie, and since they played it like that, I think we play the Body Launderer and pass to the opponent. Angel of Unity yet again. They gain some life from the Righteous Valkyrie. Well, swing in with the team. That's fine. We want to turn on this Revolt so we can get rid of this Righteous Valkyrie. We'll drop a Palaka Worm. And a Worm Coil Engine. And Fatal Push the Righteous Valkyrie. Play an Elvish Mystic. And go off with the Spawning Pod next turn. And opponent just concedes. Alright. So, run it back like this. This is looking like a pretty good hand. It's got the Spawning Pod, got a Body Launderer, and a Cavalier of Night. All good targets for the Spawning Pod, so we'll keep this. Probably would just prefer to draw lands after this for at least 2 turns. Okay. Well, we'll play a Booming Arch. That is awesome. We wanted that land drop. They just play a Godless Shrine, untapped, and a Clement. Well, we'll play the Forest and the Spawning Pod and pass to you, opponent. Opponent specializes the Clement and swings in for 3 lifelinking. Well, we'll play this on black and play a Body Launderer and pass to you, opponent. I don't think I kill this with a Spawning Pod next turn. Probably actually just Cavalier of Night, sacking the Elvish Mystic. What do you name, opponent? Fatal Push. Okay. Intrepid Adversary. No blocks. Well, shocking. Oops. Play the Cavalier of Night. Sacking the Elvish, the Elvish Mystic. And what do we get rid of? Probably the Clement. And then we get to do some looting. Well, we'll drop an Llanowar Elf. And no attacks. Deputy of Detention. Okay, taking the Body Launderer. Well, we will Assassin's Trophy the Deputy of Detention. Get our Body Launderer back. Opponent gets their land, and we will Spawning Pod the Cavalier of Night. And go get ourselves a Wormcoil Engine. We'll get a Llanowar Elf from the graveyard. Dumpster Llanowar Elf into the graveyard. And there's the Wormcoil Engine. And what can you do about it, opponent? Next turn, another Wormcoil Engine. Did we get there? Revival of the Deputy Detention. Okay. Taking the Wormcoil Engine. Another Clement. Not sure why opponent attacked. What do we have on our graveyard? Well, we will block so that it dies. We go down to 9. They're up to 31. We'll play Cavalier of Night. Sacking Llanowar Elf. Get rid of this Deputy of Detention. Get our Wormcoil Engine back. And shock in. Play the Wormcoil Engine. Swing in with the Cavalier and the Wormcoil Engine. Gain a ton of life. We go back up to 17. And they just play a land. And we get there. Nice. This deck is so sweet. Oh, Kabuto. Alright, we're against Kabuto. We will play first. This is good. Got the birthing pod, or the spawning pod. Playing Elvish Mystic. And pass to you, opponent. We'll play the spawning pod. Pass to you, opponent. Alright, they're on Sultai. Ooh, Sultai combo. They're trying to ultimate us, and that will win them the game. I'll play the Thrall. And Diabolic Intent for what? For a Body Launderer, I think. And pass to opponent. Next turn, Body Launderer tick up into Cavalier of Night. Do we do that? They don't have any creatures, but I think it's still worth it. Body Launderer. Sack the Body Launderer. Get a Carrying Thrall back. Decline. Pass. Swing it for 1 damage and pass to the opponent. Fight rigging, okay. So might not be ultimatum combo. Well, let's see. Swing in with these. Opponent goes down to 12. Spawning pod the Thrall into a Kamiya. We will do the Body Launderer and sack all the stuff to play a Worm Coil engine and pass to the opponent. And opponent just concedes. Alright. Not sure if there's anything we have to deal with opponent. Probably Thoughtseize is our best bet. Thoughtseize, maybe a go blank. I think we just do the Thoughtseizes. Go down a Kamiya, a Thrall, and a Body Launderer, and run it like that. I don't know about this hand. I think it's not bad enough to get rid of, but it's definitely not that great. We'll keep it. Hope it works out. Ooh, not another Worm Coil engine. Opponent plays Hinterland Harbor. And they assemble the team, okay. Well, we'll play the Thrall. Maybe a symbol of the team should go in this deck. Fight rigging, okay. So they get to do some hideaway. They found something they liked. Well, Thoughtseize ya. Opponent is Emergent Ultimatum combo. They probably actually want this in the graveyard. I could be mistaken, though. I think we get rid of the... Well, that doesn't really do anything against us. Get rid of the Krasis. I think that's the biggest deal. Because they can Shadow Verdict us. We don't have many 3 and 2 drops. And 1 drops, even. In this deck. Because we're trying to ramp into the big stuff. Not sure why fight rigging is in their deck. Ooh, yeah. That's good, that's good, that's good. Heartless Act. Okay. Well, we'll just pass then. Next turn, Body Launderer, sacrifice into an... Yep, into a Cavalier of Night. Auto pay. Sacrifice. Get a Cavalier of Night. Decline. Pass to you, opponent. Eureka Moment, okay. Well, play another spawning pod. Sing in with the team. Get a free sacrifice trigger off of this Thrall. Then sack the I get the Kamiya. Get the Body Launderer. Sack the Cavalier Knight. Into a Worm Coil Engine. And can you deal with this, opponent? Opponent needs one more mana source to do Emergent Ultimatum. They Growth Spiral. And shock in. But they still can't cast the ultimatum. And we got there! Okay, we got the spawning pod. We don't really want to see the Palaco and Villas in hand. But I think we're still going to keep this. It's pretty good. Thoughtseize, okay. I would take the spawning pod if I was them. Yep. I'll turn my tap land pass to you, opponent. Misery Shadow, okay. Probably mono black devotion or aggro or good stuff, something along those lines. Yeah, well, no, wait. You can buff it, so you don't do that. Phyrexian Flesh Gorger from opponent. Well, play a Kamiya. Picking the Courier Thrall. No attacks. We will double block this Phyrexian Flesh Gorger. Okay, they Fatal Push. Yep. We'll play the Land of War Elves and Diabolic Intent. Probably getting... I don't know if the pod is the right choice here. I'm thinking the right choice is Cavalier Knight to get rid of this Misery Shadow, so we have to hope we draw into some kind of lower end creature. We don't. Or a land would have been nice. Well, just pass. Well, opponent's slowly killing us with this Misery Shadow. Maybe not slowly so much anymore. They're buffing it up. This is a 2-turn clock. Alright. Play the Kamiya. And not having access to our graveyard is really brutal, and they just kill us. Oh, Fatal Push and Assassin's Trophy in. Didn't look like they used their graveyard that much. Looked like just mono black good stuff. Do we think we get to the Palaka Worm in this matchup? It'd be really awesome if we did. Just trim. We'll just trim some more. Run it like that. Play first. Okay, we got some removal. I'll play the land, play an Elvish Mystic, and pass to you, opponent. They fatal push. Well, we'll play a Thrall and pass to the opponent. They do nothing, eh? Well, swing in with the Thrall. Diabolic Intent. The Thrall. Go get the pod. Play a Llanowar Elf. And pass to you, opponent. Shieldred's Edict. Okay. Llanowar Elf down. I'll play this on green. Play the pod. Play an Elvish Mystic. Sack the Elvish Mystic. Go get a Thrall. Start the value train. There's a Graveyard Trespasser. Well, we will get rid of the Graveyard Trespasser. Yep, discarding this Cavalier. It's really painful, but we gotta do it. Swing in with the Thrall. Pot it. Alright, alright. Into a Kamiya. And we'll put it on a Thrall. And pass the turn. Invoke Despair, okay. You gotta draw some cards, deal some damage to us. We'll play the Body Launderer. Swing it for some damage. Tick up on the Body Launderer with the pod. Go for... Get the Kamiya back. Tick up on the Body Launderer and go get a Cavalier of Night. Decline. We will not sacrifice anything. They sign in blood. Okay. That's not that scary. There's a Misery Shadow. That is a little annoying. That's a fatal push, though. That is a great top deck. They took up the Blast Zone. Well, we swing in with the team. They are down to 3. We will go get a Wormcoil Engine. We'll get the Clarion Thrall back. There we go. Good game, opponent. And yes, we got there. Okay, nice. I think we just run it back. Do we keep this? It's got the removal, so we just need to draw into creatures for this to be good. I'm gonna keep this. This is a risky line, but I'm gonna keep this. Okay, there's a Cavalier, but that is a ways away from being cast, and we would like something to cast right about now. Sign in blood. Okay, well, opponent's not doing a whole lot at the beginning turns either. Well, we have an Assassin's Trophy. Hold it open for something scary. Blast Zone from opponent. Flesh Gorger. Well, get rid of the Flesh Gorger. Lose some life. That's fine. Right now we just need to slow down the opponent. We'll wait till we get our game plan going. So spawning pod. And pass to you, opponent. Do you have an answer? Another Flesh Gorger. Okay, that's not too bad. They just pass. We'll play this on black. Play the Llanowar Elf. Sack the Llanowar Elf. Go get a Thrall. And sack the Thrall to go get a Body Launderer, maybe? Yeah, I think we get a Body Launderer. And pass to you, opponent. They fatal push our token. That's fine. Alright, they take us down to 14. They go up to 21. They take us down even further. Play this. Play the Body Launderer. Pass the turn. They shielded Edict us. Well, we will get back a Thrall. And then they invoke Despair and they just kill us. Oh no, we go down to 1. We play a Worm Coil Engine. And we just lose. Darn it. That is so frustrating. Okay, this is a pretty good hand. We'll keep this. Alright, untap lane into Elvish Mystic and pass to you, opponent. Mountain from opponent. Well, we will shock in yet again. Play the spawning pod and pass to you, opponent. Body Launderer. Well, we will play a Body Launderer and pass again. Next turn, we do some spawning pod shenanigans. Opponent has not played anything yet. There's a Chandra Spitfire. Well, we will. Well, let's tick up with the Body Launderer. Get the Cavalier of Night. Sack the Elvish Mystic. Get rid of the Chandra Spitfire. And play a Llanowar Elf. Now, I think I could have played that a little better. Sacking this to a Diabolic Intent. So that I could have got it back with Launderer's Trigger. Ooh, is this Chandra Tribal? Okay, they kill the Llanowar Elf. Well, we'll kill the Chandra. And spawning pod, the Cavalier, getting this back from the graveyard. And a Worm Coil Engine. And we will Diabolic Intent. Okay, we got there. We got there. Alright. So, against opponent, probably Thoughtseize and go blank. And we will go down a Thrall, Hikami. I guess, and to assemble the teams and run it like that. Oh, this is a risky keep. Yeah, we got the Villas in hand, but we do have a spawning pod and 2 thralls that get us up to the spawning pod mana. But that means they have to die. We have no way to kill them right here. I'm gonna mulligan. Okay, this is pretty good. Do we go down a land here? Probably not. Go down the Go down the Thoughtseize, I think, actually. We did not want to draw our one of Placaworm. This deck can produce some mana though, so we might be able to play it if the match grinds out. Opponent is, I guess, reading the card. They pass. We play another mountain into nothing. Okay. Well, Llanowar Elf. Diabolic Intent, the Thrall. They kill both. Okay. Now we have no action on board, but I think what I get is still the pod. No, actually, I get the Kamiya, right? I think I should have maybe actually got the Body Launderer there. Okay, ping us. Okay, well, that's lucky. We drew into the Body Launderer, play the Body Launderer, and pass. What? So, this Chandra, I do not know this one. Oh, it's from Amakant. Okay, cool. Chandra's Outrage. Well, we will get back the Thrall. Well, the Thrall makes a token because they killed it. And Breeding Pod seems pretty good. I think this is best to play this now before it loses value. Okay, they dumpster some stuff. They still got one card in hand. Swing at the Chandra and pass. Next turn, Kamiya. Yep, they tick up. They kill our token. There's a regulator. That's really good. We'll play a Kamiya. Probably a Thrall. Just in case they kill this. Yeah, because they're going to tick up with this, right? So yeah, they're going to kill this. Yep. Good thing we picked the Thrall. Get the Thrall back. Okay, spawning pod. Swing at the Chandra. Keep it from ultimating. And sacrifice this. Get a Kamiya. I have a funny feeling they're going to kill our stuff next turn, so if we take up on the Kamiya, that might be... Oops, my bad. Oh, I can't view the battlefield from here. Probably the Llanowar Elf. Okay, get both of the creatures back. So next one are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we can't quite play the oh wait, then we sack this at 7. Okay, we can. We can play the Palaka Worm, which is really good because we need the life. Alright, we drew into a land. That's perfect. Sack this. Sack the Carrion Thrall. Into a Kamiya. Well, we will pick another Kamiya and proceed to slam a Palaka Worm and see if opponent has an answer to it, and they do not, and we get there. Alright, 6-Arm Gamer here with the wrap-up. This is Spawning Pod, Birthing Pod combo for Historic. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. I had a ton of fun playing this deck and building this deck. So, tell me what you think. Like, subscribe, follow, all that fun stuff. And I'll be here for the next one. This is 6-Arm Gamer signing off. Have a great day.